Okay, so in this lesson, what we're going to do is we're going to solve for the rate variable. We're going to solve for r. And once we have r, which is a decimal, we could then turn it into a percentage by multiplying by 100. Let's start by finding r, okay? Let's say we have a value of 29 that becomes 19. So the value is becoming smaller, okay? 24 down to 19. That means this is a decay. That means the r, it's going to be a minus r in this case, okay? After 3 years, what is the annual decay rate, okay? Now, we're not going to put the negative in the r. We're just going to know that it's being subtracted, okay? It's not continuous, so we're not going to do e. So the ending value is 19 is equal to the starting value is 24. And we would normally put 1 minus r to the t power, okay? So this is our form, except to the t power is going to be to the third power, okay? And we want to find out what r is. Now remember that we have that r is the rate, but we know that 1 minus r can be represented by b, that b is equal to 1 minus r, where b is called the decay factor, okay? And so we're going to replace that. We're going to put 19 is equal to 24 times b to the third power, okay? And now all we have to do is solve for b, which is actually pretty easy if you have a calculator. Divide by 24 on both sides, okay? And the 24 is going to cancel over here. And so we have b to the third power is equal to 19 over 24, okay? We'll put that in parentheses. We're going to put the b to the third in the parentheses. We're going to raise both sides to the 1/3 power, because over here, 3 times 1/3 is equal to 1. So this is going to be b to the first power, but we don't have to put the 1 on there. So we just put b is equal to 19 over 24 to the 1/3 power, which we can key into the calculator. So we're going to key in parenthesis 19 divided by 24, we'll come out of the denominator and we'll close off the parenthesis, to the power of, and we're going to put this in parentheses, 1/3 power, okay? And then we press execute and we get 0.925. So our b is equal to 0.925, okay? So 0.925. But remember, we said that b is equal to 1 minus r. And so we're going to write that up. We're going to say that 1 minus r is equal to b, but instead of putting b here, we're going to put what b is equal to, 0.925, okay? Now, to solve for r here, what we're going to do is we are going to subtract, well, really what we can do is we can multiply by -1. This is weird. So this is negative. Well, what I'll do is I'll subtract 1 here and I'll subtract 1 here. And then we wind up having negative r is equal to, and we can do this in a calculator, 0.925 minus 1. Okay, so 0.925 minus 1 equals negative 0.075. So this is negative 0.075. But now what we can do is we can divide both sides by -1. If we divide by -1 on both sides, that cancels the negatives, and we get r is equal to 0.075. So that is the rate. That's the decay rate, okay? If we want to turn it into a percentage, we take our 0.075, multiply it by 100, and we get 7.5%. So as a percentage, the answer is 7.5%. As a rate, the answer is 0.075, okay? Let's try this next one. All right, it says a value of 120 grows to 240 in 86 hours, okay? What is the hourly growth rate? Because this is in hours, okay? All right, so we're starting, so our ending value is 240. Our starting value is 120. It's not growing continuously, so it's going to be 1 plus r, and it's 86 hours, so it's going to be to the power of 86, okay? We're going to replace 1 plus r with b, so we're going to have 240 is equal to 120b to the power of 86, okay? We're going to divide by 120 on both sides, 120. Now 240 divided by 120 is 2. So we can go ahead and use 2, but you could leave it as 240 divided by 120 if you have to, okay? So we're going to have b to the power of 86 is equal to 2. So now we want to get rid of this 86. So what we're going to do is we're going to put them both in parentheses. B to the 86 power is equal to 2, okay? And then we're going to do the 1 over 86 power on both sides. 1 over 86 power on both sides, okay? Over here, it's going to cancel the 86, and we're going to have b is equal to 2 to the power of 1 over 86, which we can key into a calculator. So we're going to do 2 to the power of 1 over 86, and we get 1.00809, okay? Now, if we're only going to 3 decimal places, the answer is 1.008, and we'll stop there, okay? And now we're going to go to, so we're going to say that this is equal to 1.008, okay? And so we know that b is equal to 1 plus r. And so we can set that equal to 1.008. We can subtract 1 from both sides, and we get r is equal to 0.008. And so that is, that's our answer, but if we want it as a percent, we have to take 0.008 and multiply it by 100, and we get 0.8%, okay? You could write that as 0.8% if you want to, or you can just write it as 0.8%, okay? But that is how we solve for r in that question.